And welcome one, welcome all to some OpenMW. Oh yes. Yeah, that was the point there, Romlock. That was the point. Yes, it's OpenMW. It was, well, originally released by Bethesda at some point in 2002? 2003? Something like that. And it's, well, it's one of my favorite games for a very, very special reason. It's not... Well, you've heard me ramble on. Yeah. You've heard me ramble on for many, many times about how... Well, about how I much prefer mechanics to anything else in a video game. But Morrowind, it stands as one of my top 10, number 3 actually, all-time favorite games, even though Bethesda were the ones involved with it. Which, well, is a shame nowadays, but back then, man, I loved this game. I loved this game so much. And we start out... I'll get to why I like this game so much in a moment. This intro, it just takes me back. So, you're a prisoner, and if you've played any Elder Scrolls game, you know how that song and dance goes. Now we hear Azura.
They have taken you from the Imperial City's prison. First by carriage and now by boat. To the east, to Morrowind. Fear not, for I am watchful. You have been chosen.
Wake up. We're here. Why are you shaking? Are you okay? Wake up. Stand up. There you go.
And we're here, in the boat.
What's your
with
name?
Jube. Jube? One of those. Well, this character is important because he, after the events that took place in Morrowind, he went into Vardenfell and he cleared out all the cliff racers because everyone hates cliff racers. And duly so.
Not even last night's storm could wake you.
I think I need to reduce the sensitivity a little bit.
Let's go.
A bit lower, right there. Meh, that's manageable. Okay, yes, he literally became a saint. Saint Jube. The great cleanser.
Quiet. Here comes the car.
This is where you get off. Come with me.
Giggity. Okay, alright, let's follow the guard then. So, Morrowind. What is it about it that I like so much? Well, simply put, the mechanics are, on a surface level, when you look at them, it's like, whoa, that's a lot of skills and a lot of things that you have to worry about.
Get yourself up on deck and let's keep this as civil as possible.
That's mean. But when it gets really down to it, it's really simple. So the mechanics here, well, they don't really do much. What does is, well, the music.
Finally arrived.
There's a reason I let that intro play out as long as I did. It's, Jeremy Soule is one of my favorite video game composers of all time. He, let's see, here, there's the ponytail one, there it is. Yep, we'll take that. Let's see, another face. There.
Great. I'm sure you'll fit right in. Follow me up to the office and they'll finish your release.
Herky jerks on a 1080 Ti. I have a 1080, and if you're seeing herky jerks, that's odd. It should be sending 60, and I am very much playing at 60. Well, 60-ish, as you can see.
Head on in.
Yeah, I'll head on in. Come on. Alright.
Yes, we've been expecting you. You'll have to be recorded before you're officially released. There are a few ways we can do this, and the choice is yours.
It is possibly always going to be a little bit herky-jerky, mostly because I have to have VSync enabled, which is annoying, but this is one of those games that causes the 1080 to coil whine. Coil whine like nobody's business. Okay, so I'm gonna give him the info, and I'm going to pick the knight because I'm completely unimaginative, and, well, I like it.
Very good. The letter that preceded you mentioned you were born under a certain sign. And what would that be?
I still remember the dialogue. There's very little spoken dialogue in this game, but damn. Now, this was always my favorite sign because it lets you open 50 points of a lock on touch. If you have a lock that's 50 or less, it's just automatically open. So that is really, really nice, and you kind of need it.
Now, before I stamp these papers, make sure this
Oh, hi, Artheron.
is correct.
Okay, 45 HP, 40 mana, 150 stamina. Or fatigue. Whatever they call it. Yeah, that's fine. Let's go with it. Now I have a stats menu by right-clicking. Yes, the menu is the right-click. Yes. Yes, I am Strider. How did you know? Take. Now I have an inventory. Now, what was the trick to taking the platter? Let's see. Cannot save my game right now. Oh well. And we drop it. Drop it. Right there.
Continue through to the next building and talk to Celisgravius.
We'll let your actions go for now, but once you're released, stuff like that will get you arrested again. There we go. Yep, that's how you do it. Alright. So, the reason that everyone who plays this game steals this is because it's valued at 650 gold. It's one of the most... It is actually one of the best priced items in the game, outside of, like, high-level armor sets or whatnot. Alright. So, learn how to do combat. There's a dagger on this table. There it is. Inventory menu. Oh, that's right. You can't just click drag. You have to click it first, then move it, then click again. 'Cause, you know... That'll do. And we take this, a potion. Yes, this is food. This is food. This is a light source, which you can equip. I keep going for I to open the inventory. There we go. There, I'm holding a candelabra. And yes, it really does look that terrible. In third person. Anyway. And this is a lockpick, which also serves as a good tutorial for this chest that's got a very nominal block on it. And you equip the lockpick much like a weapon, and there it is. And 31 gold. Take it. I'll also take this one. You can take the large Kwama egg. And these. And these. I'm going to steal everything. And some bread. Bread restores fatigue. Let's see. No. Okay. It's on the other side. Has no effect on me. Well, my alchemy is so low that I can't even restore fatigue by eating bread. Alright. This down here has the tutorial for sleeping. Which we don't actually need to do right now, so there I go again. Going for the usual keys. When it's just the right click, just keep your hand on the mouse. Alright, so Morrowind, my third all-time favorite game. Now we also have a map. Yes, that's how big the map is. And it's my favorite game, not because of the mechanics as I mentioned, but because of everything else around it. It's possibly one of the best written It's possibly one of the best written Elder Scrolls games ever. Just for the simple fact that... there we go. To cast magic, you actually have to bring out your hands. For the simple fact that they didn't have to voice act anything, so they could just write. And write they did. And they wrote a damn good story. Hello, Salus Gravius. Yes, Morrowind. Uriel Septim. And this is how you make conversation. You pick one of the topics in blue, and it's like your character asking the NPC about it. So, my duties. Basically, you're going to want to remember the word duties, because that's how you get quests. And if you think that the map markers in Oblivion and Skyrim made things a little too easy to find where a quest is, well, there was none of that in Morrowind. It was all about, well, here's a description of where you need to go. If you've seen, if you see this thing down the road, you've gone too far, you need to go back. And it was all like that. You were basically on your own. When I walk out of this room, let me just, Cascades, Balmora, Silt Striders, just so I can get all of the, yes, the Silt Strider. So I can get all the topics. There we go, that'll do. Now, there's also something else here, which is this key, which I would very much like to steal, but I'm pretty sure he's not going to let me. And we drop it again. Put it there. Yes. Oh no, he took the platter. Dang it! Well, at least we got the key, so... Yeah, I forgot to drop the platter. The platter is it's a stolen item, so... They'll take it away from you. Along with a bunch of other stuff. Oh well. Right. Okay, this is it. Press J to use your journal and review where, what you've been told. You should probably check out Aurilla's Trade House up on the left. You're on your own from now. You're on your own now. Good luck. Yes. You're really, really on your own. It's basically... What sandbox games nowadays do is they try to emulate what the feeling of freedom and just that you could do anything that was all started by Morrowind. It's... The combat is atrocious. Well, you can tell what the animations look like, and the character models aren't great.
How can I help you?
But it managed to have so much going for it. It's actually kind of insane. My son was recently shipped up to Fort Frostmoth in the island of Solstheim. Man, I can't read English. Yes, and that's how you get the quest for the Blood Moon expansion. Okay, that one. Trade, services, Solstheim, someone in particular. Yes. Alright.
Go ahead.
I loved the sense of just dropping you into the world and there you go. Do whatever you want. Just figure out how you want to explore the world, figure out how you want to do things. It's an open world sandbox before those were even a thing like they are now. It's just, ooh. Nice one, Mirror. Nice one. Okay, so we used the warehouse key, gotta be careful of that guard, and now we can save. And save we shall, because here, well, that's moon sugar, that's like the equivalent of cocaine in this world. And I'm going to steal a bunch of shit. Oh, there we go, armor. Yeah, alright. Oh, come on. Oh, iron longsword, okay. I was starting to wonder if I was not going to get the longsword. There's usually one here, so... Alright, this one has nothing. Okay. This is where that key that I stole gets us into. And Stour Shield, yes. And Iron Longsword, yes. We want to go for the long blades. Imperial Short Sword. Ah, there we go. Oh, we have some light boots. They're not ideal, especially since we're not particularly a light armor focused individual. Let's go up here. I think there's a mortar and pestle. No, not up here. Or is it up here? I think it is up here. Or should be. Alright. Gauntlet. And more moon sugar. 250 arrows. And a Pate Soulstone. Yeah, and this is... Well, if you're just starting out the game, you probably you're not going to be doing this. You're just gonna go and explore. You're gonna do what Celis Gravius told you to do, was to go talk to Caius Cassades in Balmora. And there are several ways you can do that, and the choice is yours, as Celis Ergala was so glad to put it. You can either walk there, or you can take the Silt Strider, which will cost you a little bit of money, but it'll be much faster. It's instantaneous. It's the fast travel way in the game, and it's a way of doing fast travel that feels organic. It's like, oh yeah, it's fast travel, but you're like taking this huge animal, and it's the animal that's carrying you to where you need to go. And while the guard is standing behind that pillar, oh, chest is empty. Never mind then. I would like to steal that gold, but they're both looking at me, so I can't. It's an organic way of doing fast travel, and at one point I knew the best Silt Strider routes to get from one end of the map to the other. It's like, you want to go from Kull to Vivek, you gotta take the Silt Strider down from Kull to Sidanin. I don't think there's any... No, I think there is one like halfway. And then from there to Sidanin, and then to Sidanin to Vivek. It's... Whoa. It was a really, really, really well done game. And in the early noughts, that sings something. And kudos, major kudos to the team behind OpenMW for taking on this kind of endeavor, because this...
Greetings.
How smoothly I can see it, you probably can't, because VSync is just being VSync and not working properly. But everything is so smooth, everything looks so good. It's Morrowind. Now, there are still some things missing. As you can see, none of the characters are casting shadows. And the draw distance, well, the fog is right there. And you're supposed to be able to increase it even further. Video. That's just the FOV. Details. Yep, it's already maxed out. So if you want, you can increase that. There you go, 16. Yep, that's as far as you're going to get when it comes to view distance, unless you go into the INI file and do a little bit of hackery, at which point you will actually be able to see things much further ahead. There is one issue, even with their change from Ogre 3D to Open Scene Graph, the performance hit on the game when you enable the really far view distance. It's nothing to scoff at. Not to mention that while the game feels big because of all the fog, and you can't see a whole lot in front of you, the moment you disable it, everything feels really tiny. It's like, oh, I used to think that that was so far away, and now I can see it from here. Oh. Well, alright then. And here's a relay.
Best values in town.
Oh, I forgot something. You know, the quest that everyone does. Where's Fargoth? It's a really teeny tiny wood elf. Did anyone see him? Where'd he go? I forgot to give Fargoth's ring back. Where is he? Hello, Fargoth. Where'd he go? I mean, he's a really annoying character. Everyone's always picked on his voice being really high pitched, and this being there he is. He's hiding. Look. Your ring? Yes, I found it. Here you go. And now, you can see that this little blue bar on the top right of the window, that's how much that particular NPC likes you. And you can persuade them, you can basically give them money, you can admire them, intimidate them, or taunt them. And if you're good enough with
this
the...
is a wondrous encounter. Welcome.
If you're good enough with the personality skills, speechcraft, specifically, you can actually taunt people into attacking you. And if you taunt someone into attacking you, you can kill them. Assuming you can kill them.
What is this about?
And that used to be the way that you would get certain specific items in the game that are very unique and only one NPC in the world has them. But that NPC, annoyingly, is usually related to a quest, so that's another thing about this game. It's quest NPCs. You know how in some games you can't kill quest NPCs at all? You just can't. No, I don't want to buy the Scrolls of Vigor. Well, in this game, not only can you kill them, as it will pretty much stop your progress. You won't be able to do the final quest, the main quest. You won't be able to finish it for one reason or another. And the really, really awesome thing that they did was that they took that and they say, okay, you killed a major quest character, you're living in a doomed world, you can fulfill the prophecy now. Basically reload the game or live in the doomed world that you've created. And you can still, through very convoluted means, admittedly, you can still finish the game. You can find Vivek. I don't think he'll give you the Wraithguard. So if you killed the quest before you got the Wraithguard gauntlet, you can still go to Vivek. You probably have to kill him. Steal the unenchanted Wraithguard that he has, and then you go speak to the last living Dwemer. Yes, one of the dwarves is still very much alive in this game, and you'll have to do the exact same things you did for the regular Wraithguard, and just go from there. And you can still finish the game, you can still kill Dagathur, you can still destroy the Heart of Lorkhan. It's frickin' genius. How did Bethesda go from doing something like this to whatever the hell they're doing nowadays? It's like, wow, you knew how to make a video game. You knew how to basically play with people's emotions. I don't know, Zoe. I've never played the Steam version in Wine.
Holding its tail and whispering. What did it say?
But you really don't want to play it in Wine. This just works so well. Yeah, sure, you don't have shadows, but it works so good. And on the technical side, let's talk about the technical side, because I was trying to install this in Solus, and I'm like, oh, let's play OpenMW for the Tuesday stream. Yes, QWebIRC 46294. I'm sure some people much prefer the action thing, but I wanted to get this one out of my system, so we're doing this tonight, if you don't mind.
What is this about?
Of course you do, Strider. You contrarian git. So we just got a quest from the Imperial Legion dude up there who wants us to spy on Fargoth, and the only way we can do that is to go to the lighthouse here, We go all the way to the top and we wait until midnight. Yes, Mir, there's going to be plenty of talking. But yeah, installing this in Solus, I thought, oh, let's, I did the Windows thing. I thought, let's go to their website, maybe there's a package for Solus. I wasn't, so I'm like, oh crap, I'm gonna have to build it from source. So, I started, I downloaded the Git, I did all of that, and then, it's like, oh, I'm missing, I'm actually missing several dependencies. What do? I'm going to have to build them all from source too. And as I was looking for one of those dependencies, I noticed that there was OpenScene Graph in the Solus repositories. No, not this button, this button. Right, it's 3 PM, so if we rest for 9 hours, it'll be midnight. Okay. See that? That's Fargoth sneaking with a torch. Yeah. Really great sneaking there, Fargoth. Yeah, it's like, oh, there's OpenScene Graph in the Solus repo, so that means, yep. Another round of major kudos. This one goes to Ike and Joshua and everyone else in the Solus team who have OpenMW in the distro repos. That is kind of amazing. No need for external repositories, no need for anything else. You just install the game, which is really nice. And yeah, if you leave your character idle for too long, the camera starts doing a little panning shot. And we saw that Fargoth just went into that puddle and did something there, and now he's sneaking still. So, we're gonna go back down. Oh yeah. I used to be able to do this without taking damage. I can't. Clearly. Alright. Basically, the trick is to jump on the tree, and I completely failed it. I had to stop using Solus because of missing libraries and software, and being too inexperienced to compile much from source.
How can I help you?
And there's always a good time to learn there, Zoe. And that's a very important skill. Resourcefulness and whatnot. Right. There we go. We found Fargoth's hiding place, and now we can steal his stuff. Even though we just gave the ring back to him, now we've basically stolen it again. Oh, that's right. I didn't map jump. Hold on. I gotta correct that. Where's jump? There. Space. It's not actually space. It's the button that usually switches DPI on this mouse that I have assigned to space. All right.
Should be treated. Find a healer.
I will find a healer at some point. Now I'm gonna go give this person. Yes, I'll find a healer in a moment. There we go. Lost 300 gold, he gave me 100 gold back, and I get to keep the ring.
Well, here's a fine one.
Hello. And yes, we are going to heal very quickly.
Outlander, what do you want?
One of the things I like to do in Cidanin before I ever leave is to just do all the quests and explore all the things. But before we get back to that, I'm gonna go down here and sleep until we're healed. Now, of course, this is an RPG, and an RPG with a built-in clock. They wouldn't just do that for, you know, the sake of it. So there are some missions, some quests that you're timed on. It can be annoying. Some of them are annoying, but not as annoying as some glaring examples, one of which is actually in Fallout 2. But it's like everything in this one game was well thought out. It's like, oh, here's a town. The people, they're walking around admittedly kind of aimlessly, but they're going about their lives and they go to sleep at night. It's 2002. You're just glad to have something that moves in 3D without it looking like it was just graphics trickery done with a 2D engine. Doom. And the music, always a soundtrack. It's really, really awesome to see. Now, why am I going this way, you're wondering? Well, I'm wondering that too. I just hope I'm going the right way. I think I am. I think it's up there. A thing happens when we go there. Let's see if we can see it happen. Ah, man. Where's the book? There it is. And... Yep. It's raining elves, ladies and gentlemen. Tauriel. Curse you unaccounted for. Now I want to play Morrowind since I never beat it. OpenMW better be story complete. It has been feature complete. Like, as far as the main quest and everything else, and the other quests in the game are concerned, it's been complete for quite a while now. And yes, you can play it all the way through. And this is the Journal of Tauriel, and what it says is that he's basically he's been working on a new spell. A spell for which he created some scrolls. The Scrolls of Vicarian Flight. And yes, they do give you 1,000 points of acrobatics for 7 seconds, which basically means that when you jump, you just launch into the sky. But it only lasts for 7 seconds, so if you're flying for more than 7 seconds, when you land, you die. Unless you manage to use another scroll just before you hit the ground. I can actually show it to you. There. Come on. Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's what scrolls look like. There we go. Scroll of Vicarian Flight. So. And yes, you could wear mismatched gloves. Yes. Right. So we cast, and then we launch! Yeah. There we go. Managed to cast it just before I landed. And now, to give you an idea of just how far that propelled us, now we're here. And we were here. It's like, wow. That's significant. That's some very powerful items that you're just handed out at the beginning of the game if you happen to go the wrong way. Quote unquote the wrong way. There's no right way, but yeah. It's... Oh yeah, the mouse pointer isn't showing. Good! That's how it's supposed to go, but yeah. We were here, where Sidanin is. We had just walked off to the top of the little gray square on top, and now we're on this side of the map, just below Balmora there. Yeah, you're just handed out some very powerful items right off the bat. That's pretty insane. It's like everywhere you look, there's this feeling of care, of love. They wanted to make a game, a really expansive, really good, really encompassing, all-encompassing game. And I'll be damned if they did. They really, really did. Can fault Bethesda for a lot of things, but damn, Morrowind was a really, really good game. Still, you know, nowadays, you look at these graphics, I mean, that's a mud crab. Look at it. Yeah. And it's dead. It doesn't look particularly good. But the story, the, freaking music. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's the rose-tinted glasses. Maybe it's the, I don't know, the lack of something this interesting and this compelling coming out on Linux lately. That makes me feel like I want to go back and just play this game all the way through. Although that probably wouldn't take me too long because I know where to go and I know where I need to do, at least for the main quest. I'm sure it would be some very, very interesting, like 3 or 4 hours. I saw a glitch-free speedrun of this game since, you know, good games done quick happened recently, and, well, that's always an interesting way to get money for charity, is to just play video games and attempt to speedrun them. Ooh, look, we found Processus Vitellius, who has 200 gold on him and a tax record. Let's see what the tax record says. Okay. Aurelie has paid his taxes. Eldafire has not paid her taxes. Irene Lenham has paid her taxes. Fargoth has not paid his taxes. Finemouth has not paid. Foreign Gilneth has not paid, and he owes quite a bit. And Vidonius Nuxius still hasn't paid his taxes. So, that's a little unmarked quest. Well, it's unmarked because no one really tells you about it. You have to stumble upon the corpse in order to get the quest in your journal. Which is, there it is. Found a corpse while traveling near Sidanin. It seems to be the corpse of one Processus Vitellius. Based on some of the items found in his body, he is carrying a parchment with what looked like tax records. He also had 200 gold on his body, probably taxes he'd collected. And, you know, since this is one of those games, there are several different ways you can solve this quest. You can go to Socius Argala and tell him, oh, found the body of person, and he had money, and you can be the good guy. Or you can basically take things into your own hands and say, you know, confront one of the people that he was getting the taxes from, since most likely he was killed by that person. Alright. Now, I'm walking very slowly because I actually want to regain some stamina. I think it's this one? Yes, for Ingilnith. Okay, let's just wait for an hour. It should give me my fatigue back. Alright.
What is this regarding Citadel?
Also, the voice actor who did the voice for the Dunmer in Morrowind, frickin' genius. That was a really, really well done, raspy, gravelly voice. I'm fine, thank you. What can I do for you? The murder of Processus Vitellius. A fetcher. You're damn right I did him in. And a good thing, too. He was skinning a lot of money from all of us honest people, overcharging us for our taxes and keeping the difference for himself. He was always flaunting his money around, showing off his new clothes and jewels. So I killed the bastard. Left his body out there to rot, with all his ill-gotten gold still on him. Sorry, that's no excuse for murder. Your punishment has been decided. Oh yeah, something else this game does. If you move from side to side, you do a slash with your weapon. If you move backwards and forwards, you do a thrust. And if you're standing still, you do a chop. It's like a combat system. A fully fledged combat system. How insane is that? Alright, so he has died, and you can see that he stole Vitellius's ring. And you just take the ring and the gold, because let's face it, we kinda need the gold more than he does. He's dead now. And I'm going to save... Ooh, skill books. Everyone loves skill books. Right. Let's see if we get attacked during our sleep. We didn't. Okay, cool. Okay, so justice has been delivered, and now I'm gonna do the quest. I'm gonna go this way first and give the ring to, I'm guessing, Vitellius's loved one, which is the lady who runs the lighthouse. There you are.
Outlander, what do you want?
Murder of Processus Vitellius. Processus' ring? There we go. And because we return the ring to her, she gives us 2 restore health potions. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. Right. And it's just these little nuggets. It's like a random body found out in the middle of nowhere. And all of a sudden there's a quest about a murder, and if you don't know who it was that did it, it's like, wow. It's... The music does a lot. I'm not going to lie. That's possibly my favorite thing about this game, still to this day, is the soundtrack. It was absolutely genius. It was really, really, really well done. The graphics could use work, but if you want better graphics, go play Oblivion. Go play Skyrim. I know what I said. They work in wine reasonably well. The oh yes, we can also finish the quest right here, and we get 500 gold on top of everything else. So now we have 1182 gold. It's like, we're rich. We haven't even left Sidanin just yet, and we're rich. But yeah, it's a major, major, major kudos to the team, the OpenMW team. I hope that when they finally do sort out the shadows and the distant land really tanking performance, once they sort out those issues and they, well, they're still feeling a little bit crazy and they want to try something else, I want to see the next iteration of the Gamebryo engine seeing an open source reimplementation. Open Oblivion, and from Open Oblivion we can also get Open Fallout 3, which I also like very, very much. That may be a game that I play on stream at some point. That or Fallout New Vegas. It's, yeah, it's I do have some things to say about those games, but this is where it all started for me, at least. It's like a Silt Strider. It's like a bus. It's a glorified bug bus.
Greetings.
It's the sort of alien-looking environment in some of the places. It's the, especially the Telvannia zones. It's just crazy.
Where would you like to go?
Hello, you know Vitellius Nucleus? Yes. I don't think he's happy here in Morrowind. Okay. Let's go ask Nucleus what he thinks about Morrowind. This game was what started this whole love for grand scale RPGs for me. It took me a while to get into it. This came out shortly after, what was it? Silt with a T, not silk.
What is this about?
It came out at around the same time that Neverwinter Nights did, and I very much liked Neverwinter Nights. So this one stayed on the back burner for a little bit. Then I finished Neverwinter Nights, and I was like, okay, let's try Morrowind, see what's up with that. And man, I lost a lot of hours. I lost 2003, 2004, 2005, 2006. It wasn't basically until 2006 when Oblivion came out that I stopped playing Morrowind. That is just crazy. Here's 100 drakes. Give me the ring. Okay. And now we have Vadonius's cursed ring. Which, if you use it, it deals 10 damage to you, but it fortifies your athletics skill for 60 seconds. Which is good if you're running around. It lets you go that just teeny tiny little bit faster. Nowhere near as fast as those scrolls I found earlier, but it's a significant difference, especially this early on in the game. And speaking of athletics, we've just leveled up. And that was another thing that this game did. You couldn't... Outside of picking the major skills and the minor skills, you didn't really have much of an influence on what, on how to level up these skills unless you were using the things that were relevant to that skill, like this iron longsword here. It's a long blade, so using it levels up the long blade skill. And you see we're already a third of the way to the next level of that. And after you've leveled up major skills 5 times, I think, or minor skills 10 times, or there's actually a really good guide to maximizing your level ups. But yeah, you need to use the skills in order to get better at them. Makes sense, right? But in a video game? Early knots? Really? That's just crazy. That is just crazy talk. And, well, I'll go to Balmora just to show you what the start of the main quest is. So,
where would you like to go?
we, as far as destinations go, yes, we travel to Balmora.
Where would you like to go?
Here it is, the first major city in the game. It has a guild of mages, a guild of fighters. It has the great house of Lalu, if I'm not mistaken. It has the guild of thieves. It has... oh, it has that one character that everyone kills. I was guilty of that. Most of my playthroughs, I ended up killing Revere, the traitor. Let's see if we can find him. I think it's that place over there. And there's a very good reason, video game-wise, why you would kill Revere. Here he is.
It has no master.
It has no master, indeed. And he sells Daedric weapons, except they're not really Daedric weapons, they're just weapons that allow you to summon bound weapons which are shaped like Daedric weapons. And he is, well, if you kill him, you can get these swords, which they're not really expensive outside of like this one, the Fiend Katana. Once you cast it, you get bound longsword for 60 seconds on yourself, which is 9,000. And the Fiend Tanto, which is, what is that, 3,000? Yeah, those are really expensive. So most people just end up killing him. And once you kill him, you get to keep his house too. And you can use it as your own base in one of the central cities of the game. It's Balmora. Even though it's relatively tiny in comparison, it's got so many quests, it's got so many named NPCs, it's got so many prophecy relevant NPCs to it. It's really, to this day, something that still gets to me. It's like how much stuff there is to do in this game. And it's very well written. Like, admittedly, they do resort to walls of text, but back then, they kind of had to. I mean, budget back then was so tight, you either put walls of text, or you make a 2-hour-long game that looks sort of pretty, and 2 years later it looks completely outdated. Yeah, no one wants that. Ooh, another thing I used to do when I first got to Balmora. I was really happy to have figured this one out on my own long before the internet was as widespread as it is. Which is, at the top of this tower, there's this guard. And on top of this cupboard, there's this sword which is worth 17,000 gold. Now, if you take it, you're stealing, and he will come to, basically take your stuff away from you. But if you hide behind the post, and you jump, and you retract this a little bit more, oh, it's just out of reach. Oh, dang it. I think the fine folks at OpenMW may have changed the position of the Sword of Wide Woe a little bit. Oh, come on, really? Ah, there it is. I can get it. The Blade of White Woe. Yes! It's mine! There it is. Now I have one of the most damaging weapons in the game, just a couple of minutes in. Okay, like 50 minutes in, but yeah, I've been taking my time, you know. And you can also steal some stuff from here if you don't, if you have the, room in the inventory to carry it. Alright, so now we have the Sword of White Woe, or the Blade of White Woe. Look at it, so pretty. It's enchanted too, which means it can damage ghosts. Because you can only deal damage to ghosts in this game with items of silver quality or higher, or if they were enchanted. So basically, if you run into a ghost the first time around, and you have no idea, it will kill you. It will kill you and laugh in your face. Right. Here is Caius Cassini's house, which is a shack, let's be honest. This is
Do you want something from
Caius Cassini's, one of the major spies for the Empire in Vardenfell. Yes. And the package. Blades trainers? Yes. Let's learn about all these people. Oh, that's a new addition. I didn't, no. In the original game, when you clicked on one of the blue bits of text, it would stay blue. But apparently in OpenMW, they've decided to improve it a little bit, and since there is nothing new that you can gain from picking that thing, well, you can... Huh. Now you know that there's nothing else about it, so you don't need that redundant bit of text. That's nice. That's quality of life improvement. The Thieves Guild, as I mentioned earlier. Yeah. There's the Thieves Guild, the Kamona Tongue, there's the Black Brotherhood, the Dark Brotherhood. Is it dark or black? I think it's dark. Dark Brotherhood. There's so many guilds and so many, like, different groups that you could join in this game. All of the Elder Scrolls have that. But this one, and there's a quest for the Guild of Fighters that will always be forever engraved in my mind, which is, once you get to a certain point in the game, the leader of one of the Guild of Fighters headquarters will ask you to kill another one. It's the one in Vivek that asks you to kill the one in Aldrun, and the one in Aldrun asks you to kill the one in Vivek. So then you have to make a choice, because you can't progress past that point because you're not being given any more quests. So if you don't do quests, you can't advance. So you have to pick one of them to die. That is just crazy. Orders. Give me orders. First thing, Pilgrim, you're new. So I look at it, here's 200 drakes. Hey, more money. Cool. You get yourself a decent weapon or armor, spell, and second thing, you'll need a cover. Okay. Around here, freelance adventurers were a common profession. There's a common profession. Sign on with the Fighters Guild, Mages Guild, or the Imperial Cult, or the Imperial Legion, and advance in the ranks. Gain skill and experience. Or go out on your own and look for freelance work or trouble. Then, when you're ready, come back and I'll have orders for you. Basically, what most people end up doing is they just join either the Fighters Guild if they're a knight or a warrior, or the Mages Guild if they're a cleric or a sorcerer or wizard. It's interesting. They managed to tie the quests to, like, the side quests to the main quest. Not just random NPC pops up while you're in the middle of doing something for the main quest and say, oh, I have this thing that needs to be done. No, you can't do the main quest until you find some side quests to do for yourself. Learn, improve, do what you need to do. And yeah, the water looks pretty bad. I think it actually looked better. Hold on. That can't be right. Water. Ah, there we go. That's why that looked so terrible. Hi. There we go. You can barely see it. You just see the raindrops falling on it. Alright. Yeah, I did think the water looked odd. Yeah. I remember seeing water like this the first time when I got the, I think it was the GeForce 4, the 4200 Ti. You know, the ones that like to blow up. They basically got so hot by themselves that they would just quite literally cook inside the case. But that video card was the first one to let me have the shiny water enabled in Morrowind. And I was just, look, you walk outside and it's raining and the raindrops are creating this admittedly very simple and completely, you know, disconnected from the actual raindrops effect, but it's there. Well, the FX, no, the FX 5600. I had one of those, and that one was just beautiful. It never had any issues. The two 4200 Ti's I had, they both cooked themselves. It was really insane. That was a really expensive video card back in the day. But yeah, no, my FX, it was weak, comparatively speaking. The 4200 Ti was so much better than the 5600. But damn, did it like to burn. And that was the video card that taught me exactly what burning silicon smells like. Yeah.
What is this about?
It's about you getting out of my way, thank you. Right. It's just... that looks so good. Yes, the graphics are simple, but with no NPCs in sight, you just see the Silt Strider in the back, rain is falling, you see the light effects there on the building. It's... damn these rose-tinted glasses! Damn them! It's Morrowind, man. My all-time third favorite game. I will probably have to do Silent Hill 2 at some point, because that's my all-time favorite, second all-time favorite game. But since OpenMW is now native for Linux, I can safely say that OpenMW is my all-time favorite Linux game, and I will most definitely have to play it through, at least. Even if I don't do all of the side quests and all the guilds, I will have to come back and actually just finish the game on Linux just so I can say that I did it. It's just so nice. It's great to see crazy people like the OpenMW team just going out of their way to re-implement the engine for this amazing... What are you looking at? Why are you standing in the back alley like that? Yeah. Stay there then. Don't move. I said don't move. She's walking away. Okay. It's great to see. and I hope they keep at it. I would very much like to see the distant land, just so I can go back on top of the stairs where the Silt Strider is, look around and see the whole damn thing around me. With minimal performance impact, obviously. Alright. Like, going up here, looking around, and seeing, like, Fort Moonmoth over there, or over there, and all the way almost to Caldera from there. It's... yeah. If you've never played Morrowind, and, well, now that you've seen this, it's sort of piqued your curiosity. Well, OpenMW is 100% playable all the way through. It looks pretty good, as you can see. Mind the herky jerks in the video, that's caused by VSync. It was either that, or you could actually hear the coil whine. But that's the fault of my particular GPU. And thank you all very, very much for watching me in the, well, it's already been an hour, of me just drooling all over Morrowind. It's a real shame that Bethesda have become as hostile to Linux as they have. Really, really is. But hey, I'm Pedro Mateos. You can find me at @accounted4 on Twitter, or plus Pedro Mateos on Google+. And if you'd like to know when we do this, what game we're playing, you can go to linuxgamecast.com and hit the schedule. There's a thing there. Tomorrow, Ven and Jill will bring you Linux Weekly Daily Wednesdays. I will not be back in time to join the show. Because, you know, London. I'm in London all week. So, it's just Ven and Jill, but I will be back on Saturday for the Linux Gamecast Weeklies. So thank you all, and I will see you on Saturday. Bye.